So good morning. My name is Rosie. You guys can all, if you prefer to move forward or
good Lord, it's like church. Everybody's in the back row.
Yeah, there you go. No one's going to pick on you and bite you. So I get the unique pleasure of introducing Suzanne Evans. And I'm going to tell you a little bit of boring stuff about her first. So she has a bachelor's degree from Lees McRae College, a master's degree from New York University, and a graduate of Coach U. She holds an ACC certification from the International Coaching Federation. And she has a beautiful little Westie named Lucky Boy. And she enjoys a wonderful life with Melanie, traveling, fooding, watching college basketball, and being a political junkie. So Suzanne, she's also been covered in Palisades Magazine, Fayetteville Observer, the News Journal, Choice Magazine, Wild Women Radio, and VA Radio Network. But I would be really amiss if I did not just speak about Suzanne as I know her. And she's really quite brilliant, and I have never in my life met someone with so much passion and energy and loving what she does. So I've had the privilege of being with her and watching her do her work or her passion on a daily basis. And I'm like, oh my God, do you ever get tired? And she doesn't ever get tired because she's loving what she does. And it's not an accident that the name of her business is Help More People, because that's what Suzanne is really, really good at, is helping people help more people and really touching a lot of people's lives. So she's my special friend and a very beautiful and brilliant woman, as you'll see when she does her presentation. So, Ms. Suzanne Evans.
Thank you. Thanks. Actually, a lot of what my work is and what I do is intimate, intensive days of laser coaching. So it kind of feels like that's what we're doing. So it's right up my alley. Just by nature of you being in this room right now, you have been predestined to greatness. I mean, there's a reason you're here. You didn't just accidentally show up. You just didn't, whether you're a speaker or you're here for the day, there is something within you that you have to offer other people. There is something that is even kind of bigger than yourself, and that you want to get the message out about through your business, through your work, whatever it is that you do. And I know that might sound a little like cheesy, first thing coming out of my mouth, but I really ask you to kind of like take a second and think about it. Think about what it is that you have to offer other people. What it is you have to offer other people through your talents, through your gifts, through your message, through your F-ups in life. Whatever it is, what do you have to offer other people? And so I always say that you can't market without having a movement. And we've all got some form of a movement inside of us. So that's really what I have a problem, and I was telling Felicia about it just a second ago. PowerPoints are nice and all of that, but I actually kind of wake up every day and I say, what's in my heart? What do people need to hear today? So I might follow the slides, I might not follow the slides, but I really kind of try to really feel, what the energy of the room is and what people are needing. So it doesn't matter really what your business is or what your mission is. You've got to have a movement to market. And so there's three things that I'm really feeling that I'm going to speak about today. And one is movement, which I've mentioned. The other piece is marketing, because you cannot have a business without marketing. And the third piece of that is money. And if you're in business and you're really not interested in making money, I would reevaluate that, because you're going to be in trouble big time. Because you can get a job and do a not-for-profit, whatever, but I have a client who says we are all brought here to collect our divine inheritance. And I love that, because the more money the right people make, the more you can change the world, the more you can spread that. So we're going to kind of talk about those three things today. And so let's get into it. I think, where's the little thingy? Okay, so in terms of purpose, as I was saying, there is a reason you're here. There's a reason you do what you do. And if you tap into that reasoning, that's what's going to enable you to market effortlessly, market more easily. And so we're going to talk about that a lot as well. So I'll tell you what we will do today. I can tell you that you're going to understand why marketing alone doesn't work. So as important as it is, alone it does not work. You're going to learn to embrace your movement. We're going to go through 5-step clear plan to profit. You're going to hear some new perspectives and hopefully You will not get complicated marketing formulas. Anybody in here a mechanical engineer? Anybody a physicist? Okay, I was going to say, I have, if you are, I've got some complicated marketing formulas that I'll email you. But for the rest of people like me, it doesn't work for me. So you won't be getting any of that. You're also not going to be able to hide behind, I'm not good at marketing or I hate marketing. We're not going to work with inauthentic strategies. We're not going to baby step. Everything I talk about today is honestly the way I quantum leaped and the way that you can as well. And I will not force you to make more money. If you don't want to, I'm probably not the talk for you. Go take a break. I don't take hostages, but I really do believe that there's no reason for people making a difference not to make incredible money. My tagline is making millions by making a difference. So, okay, so about me, a little bit why I'm here, why I'm talking to you, and kind of what brought me to where I am. So a little under 3 years ago, I was working in the Broadway theater industry, and I worked in a lot of shows. I've worked with Usher, I've worked with Rosie O'Donnell, I've worked with Reba McEntire, I've worked with Christina Applegate. I mean, the list goes on. And that sounds really fun and really exciting, and somehow I had managed to be in the most creative industry in the world, being the most uncreative person in the world. I wasn't fulfilled. I think I just got a big raise to make $50,000 a year. You know, so, and if anybody lives in New York City or knows anything about New York City, that's about $30,000 in the rest of the civilized world. So I was working in the Broadway theater industry, and while I did start in that industry and loved it, I had just become burnout. I knew it wasn't my calling. I knew it wasn't my passion or my purpose, and I had been buzzing around about something else to do. And the really funny thing was we were in dress rehearsals for Sweet Charity, and there's this moment in Sweet Charity where all the girls come to the front of the stage. And it's this big number, and I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Sweet Charity, but they come to the front of the stage and they go, there's got to be something better than this. There's got to be something bigger to do. And when I find out something better to do, I'm going to get up, I'm going to get up, I'm going to get up, get out, and go live it. And I was like, shit, they're talking to me. I was like, how did I end up in a musical? Literally, in my life. And so I recognized that when I was hearing this, and here's when God has a great sense of humor. Then I had to hear that song every day for 6 months, right? So I'm like, oh goodness, you know, this message is coming to me loud and clear. And so I knew I wanted to do something else. And actually what ended up happening was funny too. After working in the Broadway theater industry, it was literally a combination of a daytime TV show and an actor that had been on tour in one of our shows who had become a coach. And somebody said, you know, you should really talk to him, because I was talking about coaching, and long story short, I ended up connecting with one of the actors in our show who had left acting to become a coach, and I knew instantaneously that this was what I was meant to do. I mean, I was so jazzed about it, I was so excited about it, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't stop thinking about it. And so as I began to, you know, explore more and to grow my business, you know, I did that classic build it and they will come. They don't. You know, just they don't. Your parents do, and your best friend, but they have to leave early to meet somebody for dinner. You know, so it's like you're waiting for the clients. And I knew I had to figure something out, and so I ended up really mastering marketing. I'm a very good student. I'm an even better implementer. And so I mastered all the marketing pieces, but there was still some things that were kind of leaving me hollow. And one of the things that I recognize, which again we're going to talk about today, is that anything sustainable in the world, if you look at anything that has longevity, whether it's historically, culturally, business, in society, is not born out of marketing, but it's born out of a movement. You know, there is something underneath that that is bigger than just the marketing pieces. So I kind of started to put all of this together, and my first business was a life coaching business that I built to 6 figures and full in about a year. And after that, moved into building my second business, which is my current business, helpmorepeople.com, which I now work with coaches, consultants, direct marketers, anyone who is in a solo-based business to market and build their businesses. And I built that business to $500,000 in about under 2 years. And what we're going to do today is show you exactly how I built that business in that 2-year time. And, the first year of business, I made about $350. It was good, I was excited, pocket money. I bought a pair of shoes. And then of course going to $250,000 within a year, and then it doubling. And the most exciting part though is really that I've served over 1,000 people this year. So the money's great, and I love it, and I'm going to talk a lot about money and making money in your business. But for me, when I've been able to work with Touch and have over 1,000 people in my groups and programs this year, that's what jazzes me. I put my feet on the floor in the morning and I go, who can I help, who can I serve? And so for me, that's the best part. So I can tell you right now, whatever business you're in, it doesn't matter if you're a coach or a consultant, a direct marketer, and what are some of your businesses? Network marketer. Training, great. Somebody else.
And massage retreat.
Beautiful.
Leadership development.
Right.
Organizational development.
Great. Anybody else? Great. So kind of all over the place, which is wonderful. So it doesn't really matter what your business model is. I can tell you there are one of five things or multiple things that is keeping your business from making money. And it's just that simple. You are either marketing first before having a message and a movement. You're hiding behind perfection. You don't have a model that can make money. This happens so frequently, especially in, I've heard some of you say training, consulting, coaching, especially in that world. There are only a couple of models that will make you money in that world, I can promise you. And a lot of people are not using them. You're waiting to attract clients or customers. You hear that all the time, use the law of attraction. The law of attraction is great, but while you're using it and sitting on your couch, they will come and take your car. I can promise you. It is a combination of multiple things that make it work. And the last piece is that you are either selling before serving or you're not selling at all. So there's a really key way that you sell your products and services, and that doesn't mean, again, if you're selling to, if you're a coach and you're selling to a potential private client, or if you're a network marketer and maybe you're selling your business to bring someone else underneath you. It doesn't matter what the selling looks like. You serve first, then sell, and then some of you aren't selling at all, and that's your challenge. It only takes 12 ideal clients or customers to build a multiple six-figure business. Write that down. If you're writing, write it down, because here's the bottom line, is that people are always worried about these huge lists and these huge reaches. It only takes 12 ideal clients and customers to build a multiple six-figure business. Because a combination of the right referrals, a combination of the right reach from those 12 people, if you've got a business model that makes money, those 12 people continue to work with you in different ways. It's all you need. I built my business to $250,000 with 548 people on a list. And it was a bad list. I didn't have it in the right place. It was disorganized. I didn't have a huge list. And a lot of people talk about internet marketing and email marketing and things like that. And they've now, of course, enabled me to reach a lot more people in a really big way. But in the beginning, I didn't even know about it. So it only takes 12 ideal clients and customers to build a multiple six-figure business. Okay, 5 steps into turning your passion into profits. Like I said, step number 1 is movement, then marketing. You're going to hear a lot about marketing today. If you're in business, I hope you're hearing a lot about marketing in general because it's important. But it is really important that you have the movement before the marketing. Let's talk about that a little bit. So, oh, I love that. The PowerPoint like heated my water. It's now hot water. So the difference between marketing and movement. Marketing is strategy. It is tactics. It is tools. Movement is impact. The reason that it is so important to understand the difference is I could give you a million marketing models right now, and you could go out and make fast cash. I could, and I know they work. But when you lead with a movement that has impact, this is the place where you have long-lasting income. This is the place where your income quantum leaps, doubles, triples, and it makes all the difference in the world. So it's not just semantics here. It's really important that you get that if you're not leading with the movement, you're not leading with the message, whatever yours is, you will not have long-lasting income, especially in this economy. We'll talk about that later as well. So I have 3 elements of a movement. 3 things that, again, doesn't matter if you're a network marketer, have a massage program, or you're a coach, all the same. A shared story of common dreams. So what is the shared story of common dreams in your industry or in your work? You know, for me, it's that there are people who know they have a gift to share, they have passion, they have purpose, and they have no idea how to monetize it. I mean, that's really the shared story for me, it was my story and the people that I work with. Number two, a community inspired by that shared problem and the solutions. They are actively seeking the solutions about it. Number three, a take action moment to make it different, but always make it better. If you're not in the middle of something that's changing or that wants to be changed, you are not going to monetize at a high level. People got to want something different to spend big money with you. People got to want something to change to spend big money with you. So here's the difference for me between movement and marketing. And I'm seeing that there's a major shift in the economy right now. There is planetary and global shifts, and you cannot do business the way you did it 3 years ago. You just can't. And if you're trying to, you are lying to yourself. Lying to yourself. People will not spend their dollars the way they did 3 years ago, 5 years ago. They spend their dollars in connection, relationships. They want transparency. They want to see the people behind the products. And 5 years ago, even 4 years ago, they would have spent just based on program or service or product. They won't do it anymore. So some of the differences, I know in business you've heard you need a niche, right? Or if you're fancy, you need a niche. But you need a niche. And I think that's really shifting because that's about getting in the marketplace, penetrating the market, seeing if you can monetize in the market. And the new wave is who needs you most. Discover who needs you most. Some of it's semantics, but most of it is how you position yourself and how you approach things. Positioning in the marketplace. It's all now about forwarding your unique fingerprint. Write down your life experience has value. Your life experience has value. Doesn't matter if you're a network marketer. Doesn't matter if you're a coach, a speaker, a trainer, whatever you are. Your life experience has value, and it's much more monetizable right now than positioning in the marketplace. There are coaches and books who all they do is teach on delegation. Love them. It's great. I'm telling you, we're getting away from it. We have delegated ourselves into a trap, and it is shifting back to service. I'll talk about that more later. Shift from selling to sharing. We'll talk about that later. And it used to be marketing funnel. Probably any of you have taken a marketing course. You've all printed out a marketing funnel. We look at it differently. I call it a money mountain. Because marketing funnel was about drop somebody in like a quarter in a slot and hope that they slide through your business. A money mountain is about working with people, taking them on a journey for your business. So we'll talk about that a little bit later too. So what will you change? What do you want to change? Write it down right now. 10 seconds. What do you want to see different? Why are you in business? What is it you want to see different? And if it took you longer than about 30 seconds to write that down, think about being an entrepreneur. Because if there ain't something you want to change, it's going to be a hell of a lot easier just to have a job. A lot easier, even in this economy. So what's your movement? You know, and this you can take to the bank, I will promise you. People will invest money in what they are passionate about. In any economy, they will invest money in what they're passionate about when they are broke. When they can't put gas in their car. They will invest money in what they're passionate about. And right now, people are passionate about so many things. This economy actually provides an abundance of opportunities. People are out of work, so they're looking for income streams. People are afraid they're going to be out of work, so they're looking for help. People are stressed to the max because they lost all their money in their 401k. They're looking for help. There are, I just did a call on this the other night. I could spend 2 hours just telling you about what the new opportunities are in this market. They're abundant. So what do you want to change? What is your movement? If you don't know it, you're going to have a hard time marketing. Because it's movement first, then marketing. Secret number 2, your truth will set them free. I don't know any other way to say it except make your mess your message. Make your mess your message. You know, for me, when I first started out, I knew I had to master marketing, and I did. And it worked on some level. I was getting some clients and customers, and quite frankly, I was crying in the shower. And I thought, what the hell's going on here? You know, you're supposed to be excited that you're getting clients. and something was disconnected for me. And I recognized that I had replaced that unfulfilling day job with unfulfilling marketing. I mean, I've got a pretty specific personality, and it's pretty big, and it's in your face, and I cuss a lot, and that's just who I am. And I had tried to build this like perfect little thing, you know, that everybody would look at and say, well, this is really professional, this is great. And there wasn't even any Suzanne in it. I mean, I look back at my old stuff, and it's laughable because I don't recognize it. And I'm not gonna be for every person. That's for sure. My personality, my way of being, my presentation style, my coaching style is not going to be for everybody, and that's okay because it's a big world and people can work with other people. But when I shifted to being me in my business and really leading with my authentic message, everything changed for me. Because really all you've got is you. Doesn't matter what business you're in. If you're going to lead, unless you're going to be like an angel investor that never gets seen in that business, you're all you've got. Doesn't matter if you're in a restaurant, doesn't matter if you're, a coach, doesn't matter if you sell shoes. If you decide to have a business, you better make the brand of you or it's never gonna work. Never gonna work. It's all about the personality, and really what it's mostly about is all about the empathy. Because I think empathy marketing is the greatest marketing tool that you have, the greatest use of marketing that you can have. And what empathy marketing allows people to do is see themselves in you and you see you in them and vice versa. And when people connect with you, they will spend money with you. It's really the only way people are going to ever hand you a credit card. So I can't stress enough that if you don't put you in your message, it's never going to work. The next piece about your truth will set them free is about money and rate. Now some of you are in businesses or situations where you may not be able to set your own rate. And that's okay because it's still important, because no matter if you don't set that rate, you've still got to stand behind whatever your business or your company sets. And my quote around this is, your rate is your announcement to the world of your confidence and your skill set. So, here's the deal. Sometimes people find out about your rate before they find anything else about you. So they'll say, I really need to get healthy. I need to lose some weight or whatever. I'll say, oh, you should call my friend Rosie. She's great. She can help you out. They'll say, how much does she charge? They don't even know if she's an axe murderer, but they know what her rate is, right? So sometimes rate is the very first thing that people find out about you. So it's important that you set the right rate. And here's just some absolute facts and statistics. That which comes easiest for you is what you should be charging the most for. That which comes easiest for you is what you should be charging the most for. If 1 in 5 people are not complaining about your rate is too low. When you undervalue, when you undercharge, you really underserve. And the way that I like to look at this, there's a lot of, especially in my industry, a lot of coaches who have built businesses actually called Charge What You're Worth, or they have programs that say charge what you're worth. And I approach this slightly differently. And for me, it works. It may help you if you've ever struggled with rate. I say I charge what they're worth. My clients and customers have limitless possibility. So when I set my rate or I say my rate, it's like a tiny raindrop in the bucket of everything else that's going on. I don't ever have a problem charging what I'm worth because I'm charging what they're worth. And when you look at it in that way, you'll never have an issue about undercharging because it's not about me, it's about them. And I want to give people an opportunity to invest in themselves in a meaningful way to have empowered transformation. And again, this goes back to my life experience has value. Some of you may be waiting to finish a program, be certified, get your first client, finish a degree, lose 10 pounds, grow a third leg. I don't know what you're waiting on. But I can tell you this, that your life experience up until this moment has value. And that's really all you need to charge what you're worth, to connect with people and get clients and customers. Secret number 3 is monetizable model with meaning. This is what I was talking about. You've got to have a business model that makes money. It's the key. If you don't, you may do great work, you may be a wonderful person, you may be so talented, it will not matter. There's only 3 ways to accelerate business in accelerate income in a business. Only 3 ways. I can talk to you about it till the cows come home, and I still will No, there's only three ways. One is to charge more, which we just talked about. The second is to get more business. And the third is to increase the frequency of your current clients and customers. There is no other way to make money in any business. Only 4 business numbers you need to watch, period. I love it. I love it when I get a client, Rosie knows this, and they'll say, I want you to look at my business. And they'll send me a binder, right? I'll just send it back to them. I'll say, if you can't get everything I need to look at on one sheet, you've got more problems than you think you've got. There's only 4 numbers you need to watch. Traffic, both online and offline. Some of you are online, some of you aren't, it doesn't matter. And when I say traffic, if you do most of your events or talks or whatever in person, and most of your work is in person, let's say you own an acupuncture studio. What is the traffic? How many people are coming in the door? Or how many people are you connecting with? If you're online, for myself, I watch online and offline traffic because, I'm at a lot of live events, but my business is really a virtual business. So whatever it is, you need to watch online and offline numbers. Subscribers. And what I mean by that, in an online world, that would be subscribers to your database. In an offline world, it would also be database. So we call it all different things, but how many people do you have? Andrew Carnegie says, take away all my customers and take away all my money, leave me with my database, and I will still rock it. Now, he didn't say rock it, but seriously, your database is everything, especially in this day and age. I know a personal story, Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins, multi-billionaire in the self-improvement industry, he chose not to go the form of collecting a database. Only for people who bought something from him, right? He had some bad experience in internet marketing early on, and so he chose, if you bought something from him, he kept your name. But if you just visited his site, or, he did have some newsletters and stuff going on, but he didn't collect your name. Guess what he's doing right now? Changing that method, going back and collecting people's names, because it is your hive, it is your tribe, it is your audience, it is everything. And in this day and age, when less people are coming to things, less people are connecting to things, because they're kind of doing this thing where they're going, oh, if I go there, I might spend money. Or if I visit that person, I might spend money. Or I'd rather build my business on my own than maybe spend money with a coach. You need their names to communicate with them. And we're going to talk about communication a little bit, but really important. So subscribers are important. You need to watch your sales numbers, of course, whatever that is. Whether you are in a, again, network marketing business and you're watching what your sales are and other team member sales, or you're watching what your sales are from the products and services you sell, cash flow. Cash flow in, cash flow out. And that's it. And I'm telling you, that all go on a half a page. So if you're spending a bunch of money with some business analyst consultant for hundreds of pages, and I don't mean to offend anybody in the room, if I do, talk to me later, I'm cool with that. You don't need it. That's why most people don't build a business, is because they're so busy analyzing the business, they don't get any clients or customers into the business. So, kind of crazy about that, but there you go. This is one example of a business model that makes money. This is for people who would be in a service-oriented business. Again, for other people, this may not be an ideal model for you, although it really is applicable to a lot of different businesses. But you've got to make, and this is where I do Money Mountain, this is where I do Money Mountain as opposed to funnel. Because here would be your leads, right? People are coming in. You want them to have some form of touch with you, especially in this economy, where they say, I can try Suzanne out for $37, or I can try Suzanne out. The rule of thumb is people, even in this economy, won't think much about spending under $50. They don't really think much about it. I worked with a massage therapist that I said, start doing $47 massages, and then after that, go to $125, field practice. Because for the first hit, most people won't think about spending under $50 for something. So that's step one. Then you need some sort of signature system or signature product. Rosie, would you just hold up mine? I'll just show you an example. My signature product is called the Help More People system. And It basically, for me, it's step by step how to get clients, how to build a business, how to grow a business. Thank you. And whatever it is for you, you've got to have a signature system. I don't care if you're a virtual assistant, if you are a trainer, consultant, coach, anyone that's in the service industry, it doesn't have to look like this. This is just what mine looks like. But you've got to have a signature system because people buy authority. Authority inspires. And people love to know that something is step by step. People will not buy anything vague. A confused mind always says no. A confused mind always says no, so a system can be really phenomenal. Then, of course, you want some type of groups and clubs, and I won't go through this in detail, and these are also random figures. I mean, because my money mountain actually does go from $37 a month at the bottom. My top tier goes to $100,000 a year. So these are just numbers I chose to put in here for wherever you are in your business and wherever you feel secure about charging that right rate that we talked about. But again, you've got to take people up your money mountain. You take them through a journey. You don't drop them into your funnel. A lot of marketers teach this and they love it. I just hate it. It's just my thing. And hope that people trickle down. I want to go through people on a journey, holding their hand. Doesn't mean that you're over-serving, because you can't over-serve as well, and take them through the experience so that they're customers for life.
Hey, Suzanne, I have a quick question.
Sure.
As far as the bottom of the money mountain goes, at what point do you bridge from free, right,
Yes.
into at least $50, right? Because
Instead,
I think a lot of
yes.
us are in that space. We donate a lot of our time. We're building our expertise, building credibility, getting the name out there, and at some point, you just gotta say, you know what? I'm not getting on that plane unless you're gonna pay me. So,
Yep.
so where is that point? Because that's kind of where I am.
In my step 4. In my step 4.
Okay.
No, I love it. It's a great question. And I do want to just say this, and we will talk about it in just a second here.
Because I think also, as you're thinking about your mountain metaphor,
Yep.
you have a tendency sometimes maybe to be, climbing up and down the mountain,
Yeah.
right? And you don't want to be stuck at the base camp.
Well, and I love that analogy. And one of the things that you've got to do is we're going to talk in just a second about right delegation and wrong delegation.
Yeah.
You need to keep climbing up, and then you need to have support people that are meeting people at more at the bottom levels.
Right.
That goes in your business growth and development.
Right.
So we're actually going to hit that in just a second too. But the one thing I will say is that depending on where you are in your business, I don't think you can get in front of too many people.
Sure.
Ever. And I actually am very rarely ever paid to speak, and I don't even seek it out. I don't care. Because I know the job that I can do, and I know if I get in front of people, that in turn, either in that moment or down the road, they will want more of my products and my programs.
Right. Connects to other things, and that's where I am too. I completely share that philosophy.
But if it's not monetizing,
right,
there's a hole. And that's exactly what you're saying.
It's not leading to that next piece.
And I would say that it's the ask factor for you.
Yeah.
I don't know
Sure,
your business
we can talk
intimately.
offline.
Yeah, but I'll show, we'll look at that in just one second. It's a great question, and you're right. A lot of service professionals get stuck in it, without a doubt. So here's one of the things. Active then passive. Exactly what she's asking. How do I start to make money? If you're just starting in your business, this is one of my pet peeves. People will call me and they'll say, Suzanne, I want to create a system like you have. I'll go, cool, because I love helping people do that. They'll say, I want to get some passive income. I want to write a book. I want to have a whatever. And I'll say, great. I'll say, how many clients do you have? And they'll say, none. And I'll say, then what the hell are you talking to me about? Because it's always active before passive. Network marketing, coaching, training, whatever you're in, you have got to have clients and customers that are working with you before you start building programs and products and passive income streams. It doesn't even make any damn sense. And there's a lot of marketers out there that they build their whole businesses on, let me show you how to make money behind a computer. They don't tell you that they first had 25 clients before they did that. Always active before passive income. Earn while you learn. I've already said this, I'll just move through this pretty quickly, but if you're still learning, if you're still waiting, this is the situation. It sounds like you're still learning about your business.
I've got lots of room.
Yeah. I don't have that as a slide, but I can add it in. No, but it sounds like a lot, but a lot of people are learning about their business when they're first starting out. I promise myself that I would make money immediately, and I did. One of the ways that I did that was be in the 10. And so, real quick story. There was a really famous coach that was on TV, and I went to her website, and she had on her website what I read to be only 10% of coaches make over $100,000 a year. And I was like, yeah! And so all over my house I wrote, be in the 10, be in the 10, be in the 10. It was on my refrigerator, it was on my mirror getting dressed in the morning. I'm gonna be in the 10, I'm gonna make over 6 figures. And when I hit that 6-figure mark pretty quick, I just remember like sitting back and going, I can't wait to go back to that website, right? I'm gonna look at it. So I go back to the website and I'm like, well, that's not what it says at all. It says only 10% of coaches make over $10,000. Do you see the belief? I mean, if, thank goodness for a God intervention, he just had me read it wrong, but it may have changed the whole course of my life. Had I not thought that being in the 10 meant go out there, that there were 10% of people just like me. I didn't realize that there were, only 10% that were making over 10,000. And so part of it is immediately I said, I am not free. I am not free. I mean, I will tell you today, at the end of this presentation, I'm going to offer you to work with me. I'm going to pass something out. I'm going to sell something to you. You don't have to buy it. It won't hurt my feelings. But everywhere I show up, I'm going to sell something. Because I'll tell you this right now. I'll take your last dime. Because I know if you're trying to build a business, and you work with me, and you employ the strategies that I have, you will make money. I have no doubt about it. Now, I can't make you go do the stuff. So I'm always selling something. And I always will sell something. I am in the business of sales, but mostly I am in the business of service. And I know that I can serve you into making money by making a difference. So I, from the beginning, said I am not for free. I have something to offer and go back to. My life experience has value. So we're going to talk about kind of how you do that in a second. This is what I was talking about. Step 4, the ask factor. Most people confuse wishing and wanting with pursuing. You must place trust in action. And I could change that by saying you must place trust in asking. Really important. You got to get leads. We talked about this. You got to keep your pipeline full. When I first started out, I asked 100 people a week to work with me. Cold call. You'll hear a story in a second. Not so glamorous, but it worked. 100 people a week to work with me. Anywhere I was, everywhere I was. And if anybody's in this room going, I don't know that I could do that, I don't know that you're in the right business. Because I put my feet on the ground in the morning and I go, I'm so grateful that I can help people heal their shame about money and then give them the marketing tools to build a business and make money. I don't have any problem asking anybody. So the ask factor is really important. And again, I ask 100 people a week. You want it, I talked about lists a second ago. Don't think of it as building a list. I was on the phone with Bob Jenkins last night, who's a really great coach, and he said, he wrote a blog recently that said, your list is not your ATM machine. I say, don't build a list, build a hive. Build a buzzing, swarming community of people who are a part of that movement, who are excited about that movement that I've been talking about, and then, then give them a call to action. So I would ask you, if I was coaching you, are you giving people a call to action in every opportunity? Because I look at it as my job to get you to make a decision. That's my job in every coaching conversation, in every speaking engagement, to get you to make a decision. Now, your decision might be no. It might be, that lady's a little crazy. Let me get away from her. Fine, I'm not for everybody. But it is to have you make a decision, yes or no. Yes, I need more of what you've got, and to make it really clear what it is you've got. Because a confused mind always says no. Now, this is what I was talking about delegation, and this kind of relates to the Money Mountain. You've got to delegate the right things and not the wrong things. I think we've actually over-delegated. I've talked about this so much last week, I'm sure I'll get sued, but 4-hour work week. It's like, who the hell, anybody read that book, Tim Ferriss, 4-Hour Work Week? Who the hell wants a business you only work 4 hours a weekend? That's got to be something you must hate. If you only want to work 4 hours, it must suck. is very rare in my industry for the level in which I coach. I do that because I care about people and I really want to be in service. But there are things I shouldn't answer. If you can't download one of my audios, I don't know how to either. So, I shouldn't be answering that email. But you've got to delegate the right things. And the only way I know to say this to you is, would Gandhi have delegated a sit-in? Would Harvey Milk have sent a virtual assistant to fight City Hall? You've got to make sure you're delegating the right things. And we're in a place and time right now where a lot of the wrong things are getting delegated. And one of the right things is that I have associate coaches, I have support people. I'm engaged in every program I lead, from the 37 to the 100,000, but I don't do all of it. I stay in my higher tier, working with my private clients and my intensive days and those type of things, and I'm touching all the programs in some type of live way. That's one of my philosophies. But for the most part, associate coaches are leading the bottom half and support team. So that's one of the ways that you step out of that bottom tier. A lot of my bottom tier is also automated, and this is the right type of automation. Not everybody is ready to spend $100,000 with me. A lot of people are ready to start at $37 a month, or whatever the program or product is. So it's knowing your audience and having a menu to serve them. Real quick, the guy that started 1-800-Flowers, just so you know, he grew his business to $10 million while working a full-time day job. That's how I grew my business. I left my full-time day job, and there's a lot of background to that, to why I had to. Some of it was my stuff, and I stayed longer than I should have, and another piece of it was we were in the middle of a project that I couldn't leave. But I stayed in a full-time day job till my business had hit about 400,000, 350, something like that. And Rosie's one of my associate coaches and a great associate coach. So when I look to her to answer questions, they always know I know nothing. I always forget things. But anyway, I did that, and one of the things it did was it made me delegate the right things. If you're working a 50-hour-a-week day job, you can't do everything. So it enables you, forces you to delegate the right things. Secret 5, stop selling and start sharing. We talked about this a little bit earlier. But I love this quote I said, though, give up control and give it away. The more you give your idea away, the more your company is going to be worth. I love it when I get people who say, Suzanne, you're telling me to do a freebie on my website, or you're telling me to go speak. I'm giving away everything I have. I said, well, then you're not giving away enough. You can't give away enough. First of all, I'm doing my best to give you a lot of content in an hour this morning. And the bottom line is, I know you can't implement it all. You can't. The smartest person in this room can't implement it all. It's why I have 3 coaches. And it's why I have 3 coaches in 3 different areas. Because everybody's not great at everything. And I know that I need support and accountability in all of those pieces. So stop selling and start sharing. Leads are great, but conversions are necessary. Are you giving people a call to action? And really, it's about an ultimatum for a yes or a no. Go to the yes. I always say in my business, if there is not enough no's going on in my business, we're not working hard enough. I want to hear no's all the time. Because when I'm hearing no's all the time, it means I'm out there. I'm asking. I'm in front of people. And we talked about some of this relationship first, build trust, and the psychology of sales. Let's see. This story, I can't leave that. She said I had 4 minutes. I'm going to go over. Sorry. I'm a big girl trying to move me. Okay, so in Whole Foods, everybody know, I don't know, is there Whole Foods everywhere these days? So I was in Whole Foods and I was shopping, and they would, how they pass out like chicken sausage samples and juice, and I'm walking through the grocery store and I thought, if they can pass out chicken sausage samples, I could pass out life coaching. The people I'm with said, Suzanne, just please go to checkout. Always got some wild ass idea. Please go. I said, no, I'm gonna go talk to the manager. I thought, people need coaching more than they need sausage, right? I gotta be cuter than sausage at least. So I went to the managers at Whole Foods and I set up a booth. They let me on Sunday afternoons from 1 to 4 o'clock between the tomatoes and the bananas.
You're like Lucy.
Yep, between the tomatoes and the bananas. And I talked to people about coaching. This was my life coaching business at this point. And I can't tell you how it transformed my life, because I talked to people, and I started to understand what their pain was, and I started to see the people who say, how can I learn more? How can I get your card? And then some people said, where's the soy sauce? And, you know, right? I recognized what didn't resonate with people and what did resonate with people. And here's the thing. I don't think any marketing coach in the world would say, go set up a booth at a supermarket. But I tell you, I'd do it again. If I needed to do it again, I would do it again because I know I'm on a mission. You know, I know what I got to talk about matters and that people need it, so I do it again. So when people say, where's the opportunity? I say everywhere. I'm not going to be able to go through this really. This is actually my closing system for sales. So if you, I'm going to give away something here in a second. If you give me your business card and you write on your business card, I want your PowerPoint. I will give this to you, but I have a very specific sales closing system that's really kind of almost the opposite of what most sales closing systems are. And I close the sale about 97% of the time. So it's a very specific thing that I go through. I'm sorry, we don't have more time. But here's the bottom line. Go back to the basics. Take a breath. Movement, then marketing. Your truth will set them free. You've got to share your story. You've got to make your message. You've got to have a monetizable model or nothing will work. You've got to ask people to work with you and give them a call to action. And then, of course, like I said, stop selling and start sharing. I just got to say this because I love this analogy of Rosa Parks. You know, we talk about movements, and I'm really big on you lead with your movement. You think she woke up that morning and said, you know what, I feel certified. I feel trained to change the world today. You know, I think my website's in order. I'm going to do this. No, she just woke up pissed off. You know, she woke up agitated. There was something that she wanted to change. Movements are never built out of perfection. They are always built out of authenticity, necessity, urgency, and passion. And, you know, I think when you don't market your movement, somebody suffers. I think one of the greatest movements in history was the healthcare movement of stopping the spread of AIDS. And one of the activist groups' slogan was silence equals death. And so I think when you don't market your movement, someone suffers. Someone needs your product, someone needs your service, someone needs your help. And I think it's necessary. You know, for me, you know, I say imagine that this is your business. Multiple prospects contact you weekly. You lead with sharing and they sell themselves. Your movement attracts exposure, creates buzz. You delegate the right things to a team who takes the shoulds off your plate. You make a difference and have massive impact. And your life is that your income quadruples regularly. You wake up inspired. You make money by making a difference. You fulfill your lifelong dreams and your time is your own. You know, what do you want your business and life to look like? I have not given you complicated marketing things. This is all I built my business on. These models I gave you today, it's all I built my business on. And then I put in some very strategic things to expand it later, but to 6 figures and probably about $200,000 a year, it was just what I shared today. Nothing complicated, nothing fancy. And these are just some of my clients. I'm really blessed to have amazing clients. You know, and this is some of their experiences monetizing and building their business, but they also have really, a lot of them have really cool lives. You know, I love this one where it says, I think it's Tracy Delcamp. She built her business to 6 figures within 4 months going through one of my programs. But what's really cool is her husband left his job, so they now both stay at home with their 2 kids, and she's also an amazing person. But you know, it's when you market your movement and you're willing to do that, everything changes. So today, what am I going to sell you? Because I promised. This is my system. This is my Help More People system. It is soup to nuts, exactly how I built my business to $500,000. Everything I've talked about, from getting your niche to business models to everything is in here. You can pass this out if you want. And this is actually it's a brand new system. We just redid it and added a bunch of other things into it. And it comes with specific ways to do business cards. I mean, I have a very different approach to most everything. Exploring your niche, we've got a social media supplement in here if you're not on social media yet. Mindset manuals, a client attraction 6-month blueprint. You also get a mind shift belief system workbook. We've got 4 CDs in it. Lots and lots of good stuff. And it's a $497 system. And this is a lot of the testimonials you saw in there came from using this system. I will tell you that for WBO, we are offering you the generous $297 offer, but that's actually not what I'm most excited about. The piece I'm most excited about is 2 bonuses. I am doing live in-person tours, and I'm not going to talk about this too much. We'll chat at the back of the room. I even have a postcard back there in 3 cities. So if you're interested in purchasing this, you're going to get a free ticket to one of those cities. We're in New York City, LA, and St. Louis, all in the next 6 weeks. And bonus number 2 is a 20-minute laser strategy session with me. The woman that I said built a 6-figure business in 4 months started with a 15-minute strategy session with me and ended up getting multiple clients and kind of skyrocketing her business from that 15-minute session. It's one of the things I talk about a lot. One of my gifts is that in 15 minutes I can see where the blind spots are, turn it around, and tell you what to do, and move forward. So anyway, we're going to give you one of those as well. So I won't go through this, because the program is not for, but it's basically complainers. I hate them, so not for you, that's it. And this is everything you get in the system. I also on the back table have, if you're just interested in going to one of those tours, I've got little postcards. I also have a postcard with, my business card, and I've got another card to contact us for a laser coaching session. But, if I could just leave you with one thought and kind of wrap up, it's that, you've got, as I said earlier, to make money, you have to market. There's no way around it. If you hate it, you don't like it, sorry. But to be able to market, you've got to have a movement. So the combination of the 2 are so powerful. And when you look through your notes later today, or you look at all the speakers, the one thing I hope you write on a board somewhere is my life experience has value. Because if you remember that and you lead with that, you'll make all the money in the world if you put the marketing wheels behind it. So thank you. I'm happy to answer questions later, and it's been a pleasure, and we grew as this went, which is always fun, right? So thank you so much, and it was nice to meet you. I just got on a raffle real quick. So we've got, these are 2 really cool people. I did 2 telesummits, honestly, with some of the greatest marketers in the world. One was all men, and the other was all women. So this is all of the audio, it's 7 hours of audio on each, plus all the transcripts. So I'm going to pick one person. Oh, wait. Oh, Michelle Sussman? Susan. Oh, good. There you go. Congratulations. And I meant to say this too. I also did bring one of these with me. So if someone is interested in working with me and getting the system, I have one you can take home today. So thank you. Thanks, everybody.